This is Angelic of Angelic Simmer Channel. I wanted to welcome you to my current household. I've been playing for a while. I wanted to make a legacy challenge, of course. I always try to do a legacy challenge. But this time I wanted to do basically starting with a family, with two elders, and as the main Sims, and then obviously adult children, and then they have their children. So 3 generations of the family. So basically, in this house, technically I have 2 households going on simultaneously right now, and they're both related. They're both intertwined together. This is the main household though, and the oldest Sim here, his name is Benjamin Hawthorne. He is the patriarch of the Hawthorne family. He's basically the one who started it all. Him and his wife, Evelyn, they founded this family pretty much. They're the first generation. And then obviously their daughter, Amelia, and their son, Samuel, is the second generation. And then we have our 3rd generation, which right now is only 2 Sims, soon to be 4 Sims. So if we go to the family tree, because you could tell it from this perspective, is that we have Benjamin Hawthorne. He is currently an elder. He's basically on his way out the door. Because he's lived a long life. He's got an insurance policy. So he's Amelia and Samuel are about to get a good amount of inheritance money heading their way. So, and obviously, Amelia is the oldest daughter, technically, and she is living with her dad, Benjamin, and her her boyfriend, Marcus, and they're having, and they are expecting twins together. And Samuel, which is her younger brother, he lives in Sulani with his wife, Amelia, and he has a set of twin boys. Samuel Jr. is the youngest, and Elton is the youngest in that family. But the thing is, biologically, Leah is not their mother. Leah is their stepmother, but she has adopted them as her kids, technically. So technically, Cassidy Finn, who's also known as Cassidy Purdue, in the original game, she was basically just an egg donor in that retrospect. So in that retrospect, she has nothing to do with the kids. She only, she's just biologically they're her kids, but Samuel has full control over them altogether. So he didn't marry Leah until after the twins were born. So it was a situation there. And Amelia is currently pregnant. I believe she's close to her third trimester, so she is about to give birth anytime. Evelyn, obviously, their mother passed away of old age, of course, and Benjamin is not far from passing away, so it's kind of crazy. Benjamin's traits are active, family oriented, music lover. He's also, I have a mod called the Zodiac Signs mod, so he's also a Pisces. He's also neat. I also have him as a knowledge sim. He would love to have a child. He prefers exclusive relationships. He's right-handed. He's gregarious. He's domestic. He's had a woohoo kind of thing. Obviously, he has 2 kids. That was the family's, Benjamin and Evelyn's decision. They thought that having 1 boy and 1 girl was enough for them. And and it was for a long time. And basically, when Evelyn and Amelia and Samuel became young adults, basically, Amelia was supposed to basically take over the family legacy because she was the oldest and she was supposed to inherit the house. She was supposed to pretty much inherit everything. And so despite a lot of things, she has gone through a lot of stuff in her life so far, and yeah, she's expecting a baby. Was it planned? Yes, a little bit, but at the same time, she wasn't expecting to be in a committed relationship with the father of her baby. She was just expecting to possibly get pregnant and having to do the pregnancy on her own. That's what she was. Because when it came to the romance department and the dating department, she didn't necessarily didn't necessarily want to have to what do you want to do? What I want to say? She didn't necessarily want to go through a marriage. She didn't necessarily want to have a committed relationship. She didn't want necessarily the father to be there. She just wanted to have a baby without have a baby with a friend or anybody at this point. And she had a terrible relationships with people in the love department, and she met so many different people that men, women, it didn't matter. She was trying to she went on dates with so many people, and she was like, I can't find anybody that's worth a shit in my life to anybody who would want to have a baby with me. And then Marcus came through. I believe Amelia met Marcus at the museum that's across the street, I believe. I believe they met at the museum, the local museum in Willow Creek, the brand new one that I put in Willow Creek. And because she does like to paint, so she has a fascination with painting. And so uh, um oh, he's got a piece of pee. He had a fascination with her paintings, and so they decided to move on and everything, and decided to become friends and everything. And first off, they were friends, not friends with benefits. Not exactly friends with benefits, but something kind of like that. No, non-exclusive. That's what it is. Non-exclusive. And where she could be more open, like she could have open relationships with multiple people. There wouldn't be any jealousy surrounding it at all, so it would be okay. And and then Marcus was like, you know what? I really like you. You know, let's become exclusive. And then he started basically, and then we found out that Marcus was homeless, so I kind of felt sorry for Marcus. And so I decided to move him in with us and basically start a family. And multiple multiple attempts happened, multiple woohoos. They've been on, I think we've been on like 3 dates together so far. Like before he moved in, I think they've been on 3 dates. And Marcus, at one point when they moved in, he had a want at one point to break up with Amelia. And I'm like, no, 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 you just moved in with this girl. Give it some time. And then through time, he he has a want to get engaged to her. I don't know if Amelia would be up to it or not, but we will see later on down the road. I was waiting until the twins were born and maybe a little older before we started having the wedding, because, Benjamin's pretty much on his last legs at this point. And yeah, her parents' wishes are for her to get married eventually, because her parents are traditionalists. They were born in the 50s, I would say. Um, Born in the 50s, and obviously, the backstory, the random backstory I got from a generator I had was that Amelia Hawthorne is in her 30s, basically. And so she was born in, basically, this backstory told me that she was born about in the early 90s, so she's about 30 years old. She has a younger brother who's about 25, so about 5 years younger than her. So he was born in basically the 90s, 96, 97 range. And then after that, there was no real continuation story for them. Like, there wasn't a thing where she had children. There wasn't really any specified background on the rest of them. And basically, um, Evelyn and Benjamin were created above Amelia, because technically Amelia was the idea at first. And then I asked the generator, well, does Amelia have parents? What are her parents' names? And how old are they? And so the generator told me that her parents were in their mid 60s. They were retirees, and obviously she's 30. And then obviously she had a brother. That's what the sibling was a younger brother around the age of 25. So I was like, well, Amelia would be a young adult, because I would say 30 years old is still a young adult. You'd be probably later in your young adult life, but you'd be a young adult. Samuel, obviously, being 25, he would also be a young adult. And then, obviously, I felt like mid-60s for Evelyn and Benjamin, obviously, would be the elder stage in Sim's circle of life. So, and then the generator also gave me the family having a family dog by the name of Buddy, and he was supposed to be a golden retriever. So the original family was Benjamin Hawthorne, Evelyn Hawthorne, Amelia Hawthorne, Samuel Hawthorne, and Buddy the dog. And then it expanded to Chloe the Great Dane, which Amelia rescued in town. It was a stray dog that was around the neighborhood, and she decided to adopt her based on her being on the street, like being near the house. And then Nibbles, I call him Nibbles, is a cat. And Nibbles was technically rescued by Evelyn, but since Evelyn's passed away, obviously Nibbles is still in the house. And who knows what's going to happen with the pets. Obviously, Buddy is basically the family dog. He has been there for Amelia and Samuel's childhood, has been there for through thick, through thin, through everything, and so basically Amelia's emotional support animal. So is, well, I feel like Chloe is more of Amelia's emotional support animal, because I feel like Amelia's put more work on Chloe than she's put on Buddy. But I digress on that one. So this is Amelia Hawthorne. I think, yeah, she has 10 days left till she is an adult. So she's got quite some time left still until she's an adult. And her traits are creative, perfectionist. Her sign is Gemini. I guess the backstory I had of her, I guess she was supposed to be born in the spring, and I guess this season is spring is what the season they gave me, what she would have been born in. But the game randomized Gemini for her, so I thought hey, May, June, that's still spring. It's late spring, but early summer, but it fits her time that she probably would have been born at. She's also romantic. She's also a bro. She's also ambitious. Um, oh, she doesn't have a job right now, and I think that's because I took out the trade school because her and her brother were going to a trade school where you get internships. So you can pick your internship program and you can make money at this internship. And I believe I had her working in like a business internship or something like that. And so that's what she was doing. She also has autism spectrum disorder, which obviously a lot of people have. And I feel like it does affect your social skills. It affects your behavior. It affects how you communicate. Um, it can also affect your anxiety. It also increases risks for problems like anxiety, depression, OCD, eating disorder, uh, stuff like that. So if you don't have the proper medication and whatnot, then stuff happens. You get angry. Like in this case, she's angry right now, but I think it's because of being pregnant, which, yeah, it is. She's currently in her second trimester, so, yeah, she's gonna feel, um, she kind of feels miserable at this point because she's been pregnant for a while. Um, because my pregnancy season game lasts 9 days instead of the normal 3. So, to make it feel more like a realistic pregnancy. So, I would say she's about 5 or 6 months pregnant with twins, by the way. So, so her and her brother, for some odd, weird reason, they both have twins. They're both have twin kids. So that's kind of interesting. All right. And I can't remember where I was last at. But she does have autism spectrum disorder. She's been kissed. She has the knowledge. Because she has listed stuff on Plopsy and sold it. So, which is pretty good. And so I'm kind of, in that regard, I'm kind of proud of her. And then she's also a popularity sim as her secondary, in my opinion, as her secondary aspiration. And then she's also obviously prefers non-exclusive romantic relationships. For some weird reason, she inherited the professional. Sims can write helpful manuals about any skill they're well versed in. She's also got the inspired, explorer, neutral about having children, had woohoo, also cheerful. She's right-handed and a muser. And then she's had her first woohoo, she's had her first promotion. So milestone-wise, she's made a best friend in Alton Brown. She fell in love with Marcus Marley. She made a best friend with Marcus. She started a romantic relationship with him and made a best friend in her brother, which is also nice. Let's see. Yeah. And she did have a job at one point. They adopted Buddy, and then Chloe, and then Nibbles, and then she discovered the bro-ass trait, but I think she also right, but anyway, these are all her milestones that she has so far. She likes fitness and painting. She dislikes the color yellow, and she likes egotistical sons, which I think is kind of crazy. And I'm gonna put her into stepping into the spotlight because I think she could do it. And then that kind of thing. And then I'll have her freshen up. No, I'm gonna have her try and calm down and then freshen up in the mirror. Okay, so now we have the man of the hour, the one that has kind of moved in as a significant other, and hopefully they will get married. My plan is to get them married because obviously that's what Benjamin and Evelyn would have wanted, story-wise, legacy-wise. I feel like it's, for me, that the mother and father of babies stay together. I know they don't always stay together. I had a family at one point before Horse Ranch came out, and I wanted to play around with the horses. That the family I had for that, which I do have on the gallery, I believe, they before they ever owned a horse ranch, they lived in San Sequoia. They lived together, like, well, originally it was a lesbian couple. They had a science baby, or they did one science basically a science pregnancy, and then it turned out to be twin girls, and that's all they ever had. And I kind of, anymore, when it comes to a family, I kind of limit it to two babies, like two babies in a family. That's it. Lately. And then obviously, I believe my heir of that legacy was Janine, and then Janine Jackson, because it was the Jackson family. And their parents were originally Lucille and Janelle Jackson, because it was a lesbian couple to start out with. And then Janelle decided to basically become male, so I switched the name Janelle to John. And then after Janelle became John, Lucille was like, I wanted to be with a woman. You don't fit my basically my orientations anymore. So they divorced. And then Janine ended up staying with Lucille. And then Lucinda which was kind of named after Lucille, and then Janine was kind of named after Janelle. Um, anyway, because it was like a play on each parent's name for the kids, and and then Janine ended up living with Lucille, and then Lucille met another partner in Carmine, which is a pre-made sim in San Sequoia with Growing Together. They ended up getting married. They didn't have any kids. But Janine, by that point, was a teen. I think Janine and Lucinda were like teenagers, close to young adults by that point. And then they moved from San Sequoia to Chestnut Ridge, and they bought the 64 by 64 lot, or I had them on the 64 by 64 lot, and they had 6 horses. I believe they had like 6 horses, and I bred like 2 of those horses, and then there was like 4 generations of horses. I swear to God, on one lot, or not on one lot, but at one point there was. Um, but anyway, I digress on that one. I feel like eventually down the road that maybe this family would end up with horses, but I don't know. It just depends on who their partner ends up being, anything like that, if they go into Chestnut Ridge. Um, Basically, Amelia has gone to Chestnut Ridge, um, but she's gone to like the Oak Barrel, I believe is what it's called, and it's a bar, and just has hung out there, but nothing's really happened there. But anyway, this is Marcus Marley. Um, he's obviously not way younger than Amelia, but I feel like Marcus would be I feel like around the same age as Samuel. So maybe about 5 years younger than her. And she basically came across him at the new museum, which I put across the street, which is called, I think this is a Maxis lot, I believe, called the Willow Creek Museum of Art. Is what it's called, and so I put it here, and because it's a 30 by 20 lot instead of a 40 by 30, and so yeah, and they've I think they met while painting, or no, Amelia was painting there, and I think she ran into him while she was painting. So anyway, his traits are snob, mean, self-assured. He's also a Scorpio. He also has the learning disorder dyslexia, which I thought was interesting because both parents have a learning disability, which I think is interesting because I want to know if either kid or if both kids end up with either dyslexia or autism. I feel like that'd be interesting if that passes down. But also, these disorders are a mod. I can't remember the name of the mod offhand, but it's by a Deep Indigo. And so you get like dyslexia, you get autism spectrum disorder, you can get ADHD, because Samuel has ADHD, stuff like that. So it's actually quite interesting. And obviously he's been kissed. He wants to have a child. He wants to have children. He wants to be married. He wants an exclusive relationship. He wants a commitment. And he's right-handed. He's had woohoo. And since he's a Scorpio, he's also a fortune sim. So he's all about that money. He craves the money. And currently, he is a mail carrier. I have a mod where played sims can work the NPC jobs. So basically, like the mail carrier, I believe you can be an alien Polynesian technician, the Grim Reaper. Uh, yeah, because you can play as the Grim Reaper, maid. Um, I can't remember what other jobs there is, but I'm gonna have to look here. Because I think it's all of the NPC jobs there is. I think you could also do firefighter. I think I have that ability. Freelance job. Find part-time. Okay. Let's just find a regular job and see what happens. Oh yeah, I forgot. I also have a new job, a relation with a job called job finding. So then she has to find a job. So I'm gonna say that she's like, that she didn't quit her internship. I feel like we're gonna say she's graduated. But also at the same time, I kind of feel like she should go to like university. As well. So I kind of want to apply for scholarships with her since she's currently pregnant. I feel like university would be the best option. And I do have a mod where it shortens the credits for university, so it wouldn't take too long. Okay, so we got 2,000. Her personal, yeah. Okay. So her personal funds, she has $2,607, and in the household funds, there's $6,666. So,
Miss Stevie?
let's see. Oh, she does have an
Sleffinoosh.
and she does have and she does have the family ring. I called it the Hawthorne family ring. It's basically an engagement ring that I feel has been passed down through the generations. And obviously Benjamin gave it to Evelyn as an engagement ring when they got married. That's how I'm gonna say it. And obviously Evelyn wore it till the day she died, or not till the day she died, but she gifted it to Amelia shortly before she passed away. That Amelia was going to get the family ring, and then whoever her kid, the oldest of her kids, whoever the oldest is going to be, I don't know, but whoever the heir is in this family gets this ring, and it gets passed down. It gets passed down to them. So, so their spouse basically is gets gifted that ring, and then obviously once that spouse passes away, then it goes down to one of the kids. So that's how I feel it ended up. It ended up in Amelia's possession because by the time that Evelyn passed away, Amelia was the only one in the house. Sam moved out and moved to Sulani because Leah had her own family estate in Sulani. And he decided, well, I've lived in Willow Creek my entire life. I'm basically the spare to my family. So I am going to move in with my wife, take my kids, move in with my wife, and basically build a home in Sulani and build up my family, my end of the family in Sulani. So that's what he's done. He's moved to Sulani. Amelia, I don't know if she's still gonna live in this house once Ben passes away. I think Amelia and Marcus, they're gonna move to possibly them move to Sulani as well, so she could be close to her brother. I don't know, because I feel like the Hawthorne family are very close knit, especially Amelia and Samuel, because they were the only siblings of the family, and they have a close family dynamic. So I kind of feel that Amelia wants her nephews. She wants to be closer to her nephews. She wants her kids to know her cousins. Kind of scenarios. So, we'll see what happens. But that's kind of my intention.
Oh, Nopsa!
So I'm hoping there'll be an update on the family. Hopefully the kids will be a lot older.
Bratza!
Which I hope.
Oh, Pardue!
Hopefully by next month.
Yalip?
Around this time next month. And I might even give an update sooner than that, maybe a week from now. I only play The Sims on my own, like 3 days a week, so I don't think I get that much into the storyline per se, but I feel that things will progress differently, a lot differently. So,
Fire! Oh,
we'll
ooh, drip.
see what
Miss Stevie?
So,
Finish. Tigora. Bratza!
see you in
Oh, Pardue!
the next video. We'll see you later. We'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.